Well, I am planning on being a two-part video, but yeah, I spent a lot of time talking about the promos. But continuing on where I left off about the attires, yeah, basically it'd be cooler for them to not take up a slot for the created wrestlers because then you can actually make more tires. Also, give us more than 100 slots for the goddamn wrestlers. What is wrong with you? Do you really think that we're only going to be able to want to download 100 created people and make a total in that area? Also, give us the ability to download our goddamn fucking career mode people to our fucking game again. I couldn't do that this year, and I'm thoroughly disappointed because I want to make Tyson Black and Aleister Black a tag team, but I couldn't because I couldn't download Tyson Black from career mode to the regular game, which bugged the fuck out of me. Just saying. Okay? Just saying 2K. So yeah, they need to make a separate thing for attires. Created attires need to be a completely separate slots for creation things. So that way, if you want to create attires for people, you don't have to take up a fucking wrestler slot just for that attire. Next, ability to choose who commentates your shows in universe mode and vice versa. Out of universe mode and play mode, you could choose too. The reason I'm saying this is seeing JR and King last night or Monday night really kind of made me want to have different commentary teams, especially with how boring the commentary sounds in this game. It literally sounds like Corey wants to die the entire time, and it's so crappy because Corey Graves is a fantastic commentator in real life, but then in the game he's boring. Byron Saxton's crappy in real life, in the game he's crappy. Michael Cole, same story as Byron. So it'd be cool if you could set up your own commentary teams. Now, obviously, mine would be Corey Graves, Tom Phillips, and Beth Phoenix, because why the hell not? Because they'd be fantastic in a sense of commentary together. Because Tom Phillips is fantastic on commentary, Corey Graves is fantastic on commentary, and if you've been watching the Mixed Match Challenge like I have, Beth Phoenix is fucking fantastic on commentary. A better career mode, honestly, this year was really good, but it still started lacking. If you watch anybody go past WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania, you see it get into the same sort of situation it's been in the past games where you're just kind of doing the same type of match over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, basically with no storyline coming in. And that, I mean, I guess you could get into a storyline, but it's so, I don't know. It's one of those things, you know. Voice acting by the superstars for promos and interviews. If you remember back in 2K16, I think, maybe even 2K17, Renee Young would actually talk during the promos, or during the interviews, but nobody else would. No one would talk during promos or interviews, and I think that it's the fact of the matter is WWE is a multi-billion-dollar company. Pretty sure they could afford to freaking have everyone voice act for this game. It doesn't even have to be a huge amount of lines. They can make boring-ass lines, and anytime you do a created promo where you set it up yourself, they don't have to read shit. They won't have to actually, say it, but just having the ability to put them into a voice acting area for that promo would be kind of cool. So that way, if you don't want to have to set up that side of the promo, all you got to do is set up your side. And then they talk to you, and it'd be kind of cool, in my opinion, to see that, because voice-acted promos are something that are missing from this game, and I hate that. Same with interviews. Actually, walking around with the belt in career mode as champ. So if you guys are watching my career mode, you know that I have won the United States Championship at one point. I did get it stripped from me. My guy never walked around with it backstage. Never walked out with it during promos, nothing. It felt really bad for that. I was like, why though? I'm a champion. Why am I not walking out with my belt? To the same extent, during championship matches in career mode, I'm the goddamn champion. I should not be coming out first. Watch any match, the champion comes out last. No matter what, the champion comes out last. You put the challenger first, then the champion. Not the other way around. Career mode pissed me off with that because it's like, I am the goddamn champion. I should be entering second. Every other match, the champion entered second. You know why? Because I entered first because I was the challenger. But then you win the championship, and you're entering first still, and it's like, but why though? 2K, but why? But why though? Sorry, I'm getting very distracted from that. So yeah, I really wish that you could walk around with championships and that you'd actually come out second for it. Entrances for multiple belts, with multiple belts for people who hold multiple championships. Now, if you guys don't know, during Championship Scramble, there's a few times when a tag team will have a member that has a singles title. Edge and Christian, I'm going towards trying to get them a tag team championship at some point. The Shield have one. Seth Rollins is a WWE champion, so he just comes out with that instead of his tag team championship as well. Yeah, and it's annoying. Like, trust me, it is annoying. Like, excuse me. Like, I have multiple belts with this person. Let me walk out with both of them. And before anybody says, oh, that's not realistic, Seth Rollins held the United States and WWE Championship at the same time. Held them both over his shoulder. I've seen people hold 3 goddamn belts at the same time. 1 around their waist and 2 over their shoulders. I mean, technically that was the Young Bucks, but still. The Indies are a lot different than WWE. But still, people who have multiple belts typically walk out with both belts, not just one. If Roman Reigns held the United States and the Tag Team Championships, Seth Rollins have the WWE and the Tag Team Championships, they're both going to walk out with both fucking belts. Reigns will probably have the US over his shoulder with the tag around his waist. Rollins will probably have the WWE over his shoulder with the tag around his waist. Because that's typically how you do it. When you're a tag team champion and a singles champion, you typically have your singles belt over your shoulder with your tag belt below your waist. And I know obviously it doesn't happen a lot, but it still makes more sense than not having it that way. I'm putting it that way right now. Having it to where you actually have both your championships when you come out would look a lot fucking better. Especially in the case of a tag champ and a singles champ. Now, 2 singles titles, you don't have to carry those both out. You can choose one or the other. But a tag championship and a singles championship, you should probably do it, is in my opinion. Again, you could always go Seth Rollins' way and carry both your singles championships out at the same time. I don't really give a fuck. But still, it bugs me that you can't have the option to do multiple championships at the same time. Next, Arn Anderson back. 2K17 had Arn Anderson and Larry Zbyszko as the Enforcers. 2K18 only had Larry Zbyszko, which is weird because Arn Anderson still works for the goddamn company. So it's weird that he didn't get put in the game. It was weird that he got taken out of the game. And I really want him back, not really so he can play as the Enforcers, but so I can kind of continue a feud I had in 2K17 with them, where they broke up because Arn Anderson was blaming Larry Zbyszko for all their losses. They won the tag team championships by random fucking chance. They lost them, and then Arn Anderson attacked Larry Zbyszko. It was a fun setup, and it actually culminated in a very amazing match, which I believe was a no holds barred match, and it was awesome. It was awesome, or a submission match, one of those two. The rest of the Von Erichs. If you guys don't know, there's 2 Von Erichs in these games, Kerry and Kevin. There's like 7 more Von Erichs though. There's obviously their brothers, who are also wrestlers. Their father, and I believe some of their kids are also wrestlers. I get there's a lot of issues with most of the family passed away, but with the remaining son, I think Kevin's the remaining son. Obviously he kind of had the sole purpose of bringing them into this and selling them that and letting them use them. So I feel like having the rest of the Von Erichs would be cool. At the very least, having Fritz Von Erich in the game, I think would be kind of cool. More pay-per-view events and shows to choose from. Now, if you're like me and you have a universe mode and it's brand split, you have trouble choosing pay-per-views sometimes because there's only so many you can choose. And what if you don't want to do Raw and SmackDown as your main shows? You don't got a lot of choices other than that, which I think kind of sucks. But I think it'd be fantastic if you had more options with your choices. You know, bring in some old-fashioned pay-per-views, December to Dismember, stuff along those lines, New Year's Revolution, all that kind of stuff. I know there's some of those in the game already. I'm using those as points. Bad Blood, fuck, bring Bad Blood into this goddamn game and do that kind of stuff for the simple reason of I like choosing sometimes. I like having a choice of what I want to use. I don't want to just use the generic stuff they already currently have going in the WWE. I like choosing things differently. My uncle's first pay-per-view is ECW One Night Stand. Technically WWE One Night Stand, but still. And that's because I got Extreme Rules. Because we both wanted an Extreme Rules type pay-per-view. But besides Extreme Rules and One Night Stand, there's not any other choices. You see where I'm getting with this now? So yeah. Actual cohesive and decent commentary. Again, I talked on this earlier. The commentary seems like it just kind of randomizes itself during the matches, and I don't like that. And it always kind of repeats the same few phrases, and it gets really dull and boring after a while. I would turn it off most of the time when I'm playing, but sometimes it gets hilarious to just say, shut the fuck up, Byron, or shut the fuck up, Corey, during the match, or shut the fuck up, Cole. It's really fun sometimes. You're like, shut the fuck up. So yeah, I feel like they could change those. More versions of Y2J, The Big Show, Mark Henry, Edge and Christian, JBL, and many others, since, we have 5 goddamn Stings. Like, I love the Stinger. I love Sting. He's awesome. He's fantastic. I'm not going to say he's not fantastic. But do we really need 5? Yes, we do actually, because those 5 versions are all very, very different versions. They're all very different versions of the man known as Sting. But it really shows how lacking some of the other people are. Big Show had, I think, like 3 or 4 versions in 2K17, went down to 2 this year. Mark Henry, well, he didn't have a lot last year anyway, but, he's just got the 1 version now because he lost his Nation Domination version. Edge and Christian have only ever had the 1 versions of themselves, and I hate that. JBL, again, only has the 1 version. Y2J had, I think, 2 last year and 2 this year. But there's so many different versions of Y2J you can get in this game. Like, I'm not even kidding. You could put his current role with the long, really slicked back hair, the scars, the list, and all that. You could put a few years ago when he was the silent dude, and you can put way back in the start of his career, and all of that stuff for Y2J. Big Show, you have a huge amount of stuff. You have back when he was Paul White, which I believe they actually had him a few games ago in 2K16. Even back when he was Paul White, back when he was the Giant, back when he was first starting as the Big Show to now and all that stuff. Mark Henry, same sort of story. You can have him as the Nation Domination version. You can have him as a sexual chocolate type version. You can have him as his current version, way back when he started and all that kind of stuff. Edge and Christian, I already covered this. Same with JBL. And other people, John Cena's 3 versions were fantastic this year. Rob Van Dam, you could have a few versions of him. Batista, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold. The Rock could have a few more versions. The Godfather could have a few different versions himself. Ron Simmons, and so on and so forth. There's probably about 100 other people I can name on this that could have completely different versions. Going back to the more tag team things, bringing back some more tag teams. Legion of Doom. Bring them back. Bring back the Legion of Doom, please. I want them in this game. I want them in the game. I would say Demolition 2, but we all know that's not happening. And finally, on to the last page. I can't believe it's put in 2 videos. If I would have kind of talked less on certain options, it probably would have been better. Option for the Hall of Fame in Universe mode. It'd be kind of fun to induct people, especially people who may never actually be inducted in real life. Not trying to say, these people, but China, Chris Benoit, those type of people, Owen Hart. If you can get a creative version of them, if China obviously isn't in this game, get creative versions of them and have a Hall of Fame ceremony before WrestleMania, so you can show off who made the Hall of Fame that year and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like that would be a fantastic way. You can even have them retire and stuff, and it'd be amazing. Especially because you can see people that you want in the Hall of Fame that probably won't ever make it. Christian. Christian would be headlining every Hall of Fame class it's like, who's headlining your Hall of Fame this year? Christian. What about next year? Christian. Wasn't Christian also last year's? Yeah. Okay, what about in 2020? Christian. Just always Christian. It's always gonna be Christian. Better music. The Rockin' Apple did music this year, and it was garbage. 2K17's was fantastic. Now, I won't deny there's a few good songs in 2K18, but there's not enough to kind of counteract the shit music that's in this. If you add on the Superstar tracks, that makes it a lot better because you don't have to deal with most of the tracks. Take out the tracks you don't like, obviously, Superstar and actual music, and you have pretty much your own playlist. But there's like 12, 14, somewhere around there on songs. It's not a lot, and they all kind of about a good half of them suck. And I don't like that. You know, I have like Soul Man, White Boy, You Never Mind a White Boy Quite Like Me, fuck, I'm trying to remember what other songs I have. Get Down with, or not Get Down with Sickness. You know what I mean? What song I mean by Disturbed? I can't think of the name of it right now. Unless it might actually. No, it's not that one. It's I can't think of what the fucking song it is. But you know what I mean. Like they could have much better music in 2K19. More weapons during normal matches. Obviously, if you know during a normal match, if you knock the ref down, you can go into the ring. You can grab a baseball bat. You can grab a steel chair, or you can grab a sledgehammer. However, in extreme rules type matches, you can go in and you can look at a weapon wheel of things. First off, add more weapons to the goddamn weapon wheel. Add custom weapons, you know, like the kendo sticks that the New Day use and shit like that. That'd be really cool to see custom made weapon things in there. Add the ability for weird things to be grabbed from under the ring, you know, chains, gongs, trombones, cowbells, things that were in the Hell in a Cell match between the New Day and the Usos. But, you know, and make it to where the weapon wheel is actually available during normal matches. Now, don't make it to where you can grab everything. Make it to where you can grab, like, the baseball bat, the sledgehammer, the kendo stick, or the steel chair. Like, give us a few options under each one. It makes it feel better. Maybe even, probably not a table. Maybe a ladder. Maybe a ladder, too. So that way you can at least, you know, jump off a ladder or something really cool. Because then at least we have options and we don't have to grab the same 3 shitty weapons every time we do a normal match when we knock down the ref. Whether it be on purpose or on accident. Most of the time it's on purpose with me. An actual story mode like Beat the Streak or Road to WrestleMania. I loved when they did the story mode things. They were awesome. I hate my cat. When they had the story modes, and they were fantastic in my opinion, and I really, really, really wish they would actually add them back in, because last year's 2K17's was, it was okay. But like doing something along those lines and having it be a huge, massive thing, and having it be on day fucking 1, not halfway towards the next game, would be fantastic. And finally, more moves and entrance options, and in essence creator wrestler option. I didn't like that most of the stuff in career mode was locked behind doing Road to Glory and getting loot cases and shit. It's another thing that kind of put me off career mode for this year. Also adding in like a bunch of different options for your entrance. Again, if you guys don't know, I had issues trying to make an entrance video for my guy, which I didn't have any issue with that in 2K17, but this year it would not let me at all. I had the highlights for my guy's matches, just wouldn't let me use them for anything. So fixing that issue would be fantastic, and making it to where you can do a bit more of the out there moves. You know, fuck, give me the goddamn Pepsi plunge, people. Those kinds of things. You know, like weird moves that you only see on the indies. But again, this is a video game. We could take those weird moves and make them awesome, but 2K just decided not to use them. So yeah, and entrance options. This one's kind of harder to talk about because it's kind of like deciding what you want to do with your entrance and all that, and it's kind of a pain. But make it to where the entrances can be more unique for superstars, for created superstars. I should emphasize. You know, give us really cool options. You know, Baron Corbin starts with a city and then it fades to black. But what if you don't want to use Baron Corbin's goddamn Titantron and you want your own thing that fades to black? That would be something cool to be able to do. So yeah. Well, I didn't plan this to be a 2-part video, but it is, and I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the 2 parts of what I would like to see in 2K19, the first episode of this. I will see you all in the next video. Stay golden. And look forward to more 2K19 news as it drops. Most likely WrestleMania will have some stuff dropping, and within the next few weeks we'll have some news on it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.